So we all grew up in different backgrounds. Peter, you grew up in New York. Kevin, you grew up in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I grew up in Orange County. What were the racial stereotypes for us back when we were young, and how do you think it's different now, Peter?
I mean, back then it was different. You had it was the same stuff. It was like the immigrant, geeky, I can't speak English, typical business store owner.
But you grew up with black people, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It was different. Like that was the biggest stereotype for me, was like only Asians in the neighborhood were like business owners. So that's like, it was like straight up menace to society all the time. I feel sorry for your mother kind of thing.
Okay.
That's the stereotype I had. And in the Bronx, the heroes that we were supposed to have became mockeries. Like Bruce Lee is a badass motherfucker. Like he's cool, he's badass, he's iconic. But then it was like, yo, Bruce Lee, and you're like, oh shit. Normally I should be like, yeah, I'm Bruce Lee. What? I'll whoop your ass. But it's like, oh no, Bruce Lee. Like
So you guys, it became a mockery for you guys, as opposed to like they were trying to throw respect.
Well, then like you guys, it was just me.
Oh, it was only you.
I grew up in an area where there was no Asians out there, so it was like I can't say you guys. It was just me. So I just felt like me against the world. Like anything, I was so. I think my experience was different from other people. So like I was so self-hate Asian that for me, being called Bruce Lee in the Bronx, growing up the way I was growing up, it was like an insult. As opposed to maybe if I was in Flushing, it might have been cool because there's other Asians around. Like, oh man, he called you Bruce Lee, man. Pat on the back. I was like, no man, he called me Bruce Lee, man. Like it was different.
What would you have liked to have been called?
Muhammad Ali. That's my mentality.
Doesn't have the
that
same.
Was my mentality.
Doesn't have the same fucking ring
No.
as Bruce Lee. Like, hey, Muhammad Ali, and then you're already gone.
All right. Cassius Clay.
Yeah, but you're like already 4 bodegas away. It's just like, hey, Muhammad Ali.
All right, well, what do you think?
Right?
What do you think?
Yeah.
All right, so how about you? What was it like in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania?
Well, Bethlehem, I didn't know. It's like I got Eskimo, because that was my first.
They called you Eskimo?
Eskimo. They thought I was an Eskimo because I got adopted in the wintertime. So I had to go to school.
Dude, that's high level. That's high level
well,
insult right there.
So they didn't know, and I was like, well, what do I look like? And then, can you see? That's the one. Because Bethlehem, it's not like New York. At least New York, they know Asians exist.
Yeah, of course. Well, not in the Bronx. It doesn't matter. It was different.
That's what I'm saying. I get it. I get it. But they're like, in Bethlehem, it is a white steel town, and the majority of minority is Puerto Ricans. You know what I mean? And then, so all of it, you had the ignorant Puerto Ricans, and then you had small white steel town white people. So they see me, and then I was purchased.
They called you an Eskimo.
You were purchased.
I was purchased. So it's Eskimo. Can you see? Do you know karate? So you don't know. As a little kid, you feel like this is fucked up. Why are these kids saying this to me?
Wait. All right, so you're adopted.
I'm adopted.
Adoptions, you're purchased?
No, that's but they're not like paying you.
Yes.
It's not like you're on eBay, right?
Yeah.
And then people are bidding for you. Oh, that kid is cute, man. Oh man, that's too hard for that kid.
It is.
But they're paying for the processing fee. It's not like they're paying.
Well, that's still payment. It's like when it's like how when you go to the SPCA, you get a free dog.
Yeah.
It's not free.
Yeah.
You gotta pay like $150 to get it neutered and all that shit.
Wait, so you're neutered?
I didn't get circumcised till I was 5.
Till you were 5.
Till I was 5. Do you know how much that scars someone?
But that's better. That's better than in Korea. Back then, it was when you were 12. But at 5, yeah, in Korea they used to have when you were 12.
You know what's going on. At 5, you're like, damn, man.
At 12?
They do it at 12, yeah. But they didn't have much to cut. So I don't think that at 5 years old, it's not like it's gonna be a big pain.
To this day, I think that it took a good inch off. Because think about the growth, and then they took that skin off when I was 5 instead of as an infant.
Is that what you use as your excuse?
Yes, that's of course my excuse.
So, listen, let me tell you about my story,
I know,
girl.
but Kevin, when you're under 4 inches, really 3, 4, it's not that big of a difference.
Yes, it does.
Wait, so how about for you? You grew up in Orange County, so that's
I grew up in Orange County.
You grew up with a lot of Asians,
well,
like us.
There was at the time there wasn't a lot compared to now, but there was enough.
I don't think you got it like we got it.
Well, I got Bruce. Yeah. I got Bruce, but you know what? Here's the funny thing. The first time I got called Bruce Lee, I was in 2nd grade. I honestly didn't know who Bruce Lee was. I knew who Bruce Lee was.
The bootleg Bruce Lee?
Yeah.
Enter the Dragon,
fake, yeah.
exit the
The
Dragon,
fake Bruce
Enter the
Lee.
Tiger. I
yeah.
saw that. Bruce,
so to
L-I,
me,
L-I.
yeah, that guy was Bruce Lee.
Who's Bruce Lee?
Bruce Lee was after Bruce Lee. They tried to make this new Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
And it was Bruce Lee. And they had this title called Exit Dragon, Enter the Tiger. And it was like
You're
Bruce
lying.
Lee.
No, they had a
Yeah,
movie
it was
called
like,
The Man, the Myth, the Legend.
Yeah.
This is like when you go to Redbox and you get like Transmorphers.
Yeah, it's like that. It's
yeah,
actually
it was-
like
it was
that. Yeah,
bootleg.
it's just like that actually.
Or like Pepsi.
Yeah, it's like that. But I remember being called Bruce, and I didn't understand why they were calling me Bruce Lee. I didn't get it.
Right.
Because I went during second grade, like during the summer, I would go to this other area where there was all Mexicans, and they would just call me Bruce, and I didn't understand what it was. When I moved to Orange County in third grade. Yeah, they would call me Bruce and stuff, but then I knew who it was, and I just took it as like, oh yeah, they really think I'm Bruce Lee.
It's interesting how in Asian culture where you can take these iconic figures and use
flip
it
it.
to shit on us.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what happens. Like when we see people successful in the media, it almost is like, God damn it. Like when I was a kid, like when I got older into like, I was like, that's another person that they're just gonna call me.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know, like Ken is our friend. We know
Yeah.
Ken. But do you know how many times I'm on the road and I hear chow?
Yeah.
I'm
Oh
like,
yeah. Because like when you're driving, you have road rage. Like you can't just be like, you freaking damn Camry. You got to
Yeah.
move up and look at that person, and the most famous person that you see from that race is going to be that guy. It's like, oh, get out of here, Osama bin Laden. Like,
Oh,
you know,
you do
people,
that?
No, I
I
don't do
just-
that. I'm
oh,
just
I
saying
just-
that's what most people do
Yeah,
when they get road
I just
rage.
use the racial epithet. I don't care. I'll call if it's a black person, I'll call them the N word. If it's a
Oh,
white
damn.
person,
You're
I'll call them a cracker.
Oh, no.
If
Really?
It's like an Asian, yeah.
Okay,
If I'm in the car and I'm driving
Oh,
and they're
by
pissing me
yourself.
off, yeah, by myself.
Oh, yeah. When
That
you're by
means you're
yourself.
secretly a damn
Oh,
racist.
yeah,
No, I'm not secretly a
but when
racist.
you're by
I'm
yourself,
openly a
that's
racist.
that's like during sex, you can say anything you want.
Yes.
But it's like if you're by yourself in the car,
Or like at strip clubs. You can be racist at strip clubs.
except if you have OnStar and you're
They're
doing,
recording you.
Yeah, so they can hear you say.
Yeah.
So
OnStar
when you're in
does
a car
record.
crash and you ask for help, they're like, Mr. Walter Hung, no.
Yeah, no.
No,
Yeah, we heard you.
say the M word too much. I don't know why I think it's a robot talking, but
It's
anyway.
OnStar's an actual person.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, I thought
GM
I don't
cars
know why
have
I'm
it.
thinking like.
But what would you say the worst celebrity slur was ever said to you?
Like famous person that you was called?
I don't know if I.
This is
I
the
can remember
worst.
a famous
Long Duck
person.
Dong.
I
Yeah,
was
that's
just
pretty
gonna say
bad.
Long
I
Duck Dong.
hated.
Well, he was like
I
the worst.
hated him
he was
so
the worst,
much.
Yeah.
He was the worst. But here's the thing. And then you get into the business.
Yeah.
And then you meet the guy. You're like, oh, he's not so bad.
Getty
actually
Watanabe.
cool.
That's his name. Getty Watanabe.
But he's fucked me.
Yeah.
He fucked
And the thing
me
is,
from
I bet
sixth-
he knows.
6th grade to
I- well,
like
for-
11th grade.
For me, I used to really get embarrassed when I watched a lot of action movies, and there was this stunt guy, world famous stunt guy named Al Leong,
Mm-hmm.
and he was the only Asian guy in every movie. So he was in he's the Asian guy with the bald head with the long hair with the mustache, the Fu Manchu
Yeah,
mustache.
yeah.
He was in Die Hard.
Die Hard.
He was
I
in
love
Big
that
Trouble
guy.
in
That
Little
guy's
China.
amazing.
He was in Lethal Weapon. Any movie, he's the one Asian guy that's hanging out with the bad guys. Like, damn, this guy's the baddest criminal
I
in the
just
motherfucking
remember
world.
him eating candy in Die Hard, where the scene reaches over and he eats the Reese's Pieces.
But he never says one word.
He doesn't need to
But
talk.
every time I watch the movie, I'm like, oh man, here he comes again. I'd always feel like self-conscious because
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, I bet you someone's gonna say, oh, that's you, Pete, that's you.
But
Like-
they don't know
like-
his name though. But Long Duck
Long
Dong,
Duck
they
Dong.
know his name, and
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah,
that was a
Long Duck
big
Dong.
No,
thing.
but-
I didn't know
It
his
was-
name back then. I just knew him as the Asian guy in all the freaking movies that's making fun of us. Like,
The Long Duck Dong was definitely a character where you're
with
like
16 candles and all that.
Yeah.
They
That was
just
horrible.
made him so foolish.
Yeah.
And so I
and he
tried
played
so
into that.
hard
The whole-
because of all these characters and like it's different from you. You grew up in Orange County. Maybe you had that because it was rich and white.
No,
But,
I'm
like,
not even saying, no, not just that, because, but the thing about being in Cali is that you have K-Town up here.
Yeah.
So you have a big community of Asians. Like, when I moved
Yeah.
down here, it was the first time I got Asian pride ever.
That was as an adult though. As a kid, like for me at least, it's not like I'd come to Koreatown on the regular.
Where in OC were you?
I was in Fullerton.
So Fullerton has a lot of Asians, though.
Yeah, when I first
back
moved
then.
there was like enough, but as I got older, they became more and more. Like my high school, my senior year, my entire high school was 34% Korean.
That's
Like
great.
not just Asian, just Korean. So by
That's
the
a
time I
lot.
got, yeah,
That's
it's a
great.
lot. But when I started there in third grade, it wasn't like that.
So you
Yeah.
had your own gang out there, man.
That's great.
Yeah, I mean, it was enough to where we would be friends together and we would get made fun of together.
Right.
But there wasn't
You got a
like so
community.
many where we're like, they'd be like, hey, we can't make fun of them because
But
there's
just
like
one
30
other
of them.
person is enough.
That is true.
Is
That is true,
enough
yeah.
because you just oh man, I don't know how it was Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, but I was like, I used to like pray that I would wake up one day and be black.
Yeah,
I'm serious. Like I didn't go to church, but my mom, she was weird. She believed in prayer. She waked up at 4:30 every morning and prayed and
Wait,
like go to sleep.
your
And
mom prayed every morning that you'd be black?
No. She prayed and she'd be like, "Hey, there's," I had a weird upbringing, and then she'd always make me worry about stuff that I have to worry about. So I was like, "Oh, she's like God answers prayers." I was like, "Oh, word, this guy answers prayers." I'm like, "Please let me wake up black, like please." And I had messed up teeth, so I was like, "Just let me wake up black and with straight teeth, and I'll be happy. I'll do whatever you want me to do." Like
You
like.
could do the straight teeth.
Well, I got braces, but
What would you have done if you actually woke up black? This could
Yeah.
that was a
yo,
huge-
Soul Man. Do you remember that movie
Soul
Soul
Man.
Man?
That was-
That was like I was like, oh
what's
my
his name?
gosh, I want to be that
Wait,
guy.
Thomas
He didn't wake
Howell.
up black.
See, Thomas Howell was a star.
I was a little kid. I was 5 years old. I don't know how it would happen. I was just like, if there's a God, miracles happen.
But it's like
I want to be
But
black.
it's like Big and
Tom
vice
Hanks.
versa.
Yeah,
There was
yeah,
that was a
absolutely.
huge thing in the 80s
Yeah.
to be
Absolutely.
something else. Like think about all the shit that you would have had to deal with.
I was 5. All I cared was I just wanted an afro.
Okay.
You wanted an
fine.
afro.
I wanted
Okay,
an
fine.
afro.
You would have been cute.
I wanted to be able to. I wanted to be able to.
You would have been cuter.
I wanted to be able to. You know the African, like the pics that pics.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All my friends like I'd always see like pics with like strong fists
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that, and I'd see that and as a 5-year-old it looked so like
It's amazing.
strong and powerful. I was like, I want to be able to put
It's
that in my hair.
amazing what we think is cool at 5.
Yeah.
We all have that
At
different
5,
things.
you,
Like
you wanted to be black. I wanted to be Garfield. That's.
You wanted to be Garfield.
Garfield.
I
You wanted to be a cartoon of a cat.
That's how ridiculous it is. I want to just sleep and eat lasagna all day.
So Pedro at 5 wanted to be a different ethnicity. You wanted to be a different animal
No, I
altogether.
wanted to be a different
didn't-
fucking entity. I wanted to be a cartoon.
a cartoon.
How about you?
At 5, I don't even remember what I wanted to be. I probably wanted to be a fireman or a cop at 5.
You're lame.
I don't know what I wanted to be at 5.
Lame.
At 5, okay, well, I
You're
was
a normal child.
I was in kindergarten, right? Kindergarten or first grade when I was 5. I lived in Southgate at the time. My kindergarten teacher was Mrs. Francesca, black lady. I don't know what I wanted to be. Probably like a fireman or a police officer. I don't know. Like I didn't want to be a different ethnicity.
I definitely want to be in.
Let's-
All right, so okay,
let's
we
wrap
talked
this
about
up.
when we were younger, like racial stereotypes and whatnot, and how we were offended and insulted. What about now? Like, what do you think that the climate is like now? And let's start with actually back. How do you think it is now if you were to grow up in the Bronx in 2019?
Same thing.
You think the same?
No.
But are there
Well,
more
this is-
Asians now?
This is the stereotype now is I think a lot of people more think that are like for example Crazy Rich Asians, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
made everyone start thinking that it's. I love the movie. I think it's great for us. I think it's opened up a lot of doors for us. But the only thing is, it fueled that model minority stereotype of
Yeah,
Asian
yeah.
people. Like people look at me like. Last week I was hanging out with my friend. He's a shoe designer. He came into town and he wanted to check out all the boutique shops because he wanted to get inspiration for creative stuff, right? So we're at Beverly Hills. So we're going to all these like fancy shops and stuff like that. And I felt so out of place there because you're dealing with all these rich people, right? But all these people kept on coming up to me. All the salespeople kept on because I was a Crazy Rich Asian. My homegirl does human resources and sales for like Chanel and David Yurman. After that movie came out, she said that her team would have meetings and she was like the expert. And they're like, Michelle, how do we reach these Crazy Rich Asians? Like they just think of us as like money. And even when we dress like bums, they just think that, oh, that's how rich people really dress. Like there's a lose-lose situations. I'm like, yo.
Where are you hanging out that they think
No,
this? This is what the
Beverly-
fuck
yeah.
world?
People Hills, dude.
Oh,
A
yeah, I
lot
don't
of people,
fucking-
yeah, a lot of
no, I
people
don't
think
go
that
to
Asian
Beverly
people
Hills.
just like have money, or the model minorities like that, and I don't know how to take it.
But isn't that a good? Okay, isn't that better though than being like derogatory, like in the other end of the spectrum? Like when we were growing up, it was like they looked like when they called you Bruce, it was like, oh, I didn't like that, or like whatever. You were the only Asian, let alone Korean in your area. But like now, it's kind of like, oh, hey, I know the dude's Asian, so he must be rich. Like it's not like it's the
I
negative
just don't
thing.
want the stereotype. Period.
You don't want
man.
stereotypes,
Yeah,
period.
I just
But it
wanna be a
happens all the
regular
time, though.
person,
Yeah, like for black people, like if they say, "Oh, a black guy's on drugs," oh, he must be a crack addict, but he's probably just be on marijuana. But the stereotype is that, oh, he's a crack addict, even whether it's true or not. That's a negative thing. But if someone says like, oh, look at that guy Peter, he's Asian, oh, he must be crazy and he must be rich. Like they aren't negative things per se.
First of all, no one is saying, look at that Asian, look at how crazy.
No, they don't say.
No one is saying that. Where are you guys fucking hanging out? Like.
Are you serious?
That one movie did not change.
I'm not saying everyone. I'm not saying that everyone looks like.
No.
I'm just saying, but everyone looks as Asian people.
Dude,
as
I travel all the time. I'm gone every weekend. Nothing has changed in regards to that. They're nicer because here's the thing: social media exists. So what it is there's so much heat on white people to be nicer to black people.
Yeah.
So it trickles down, but we're at the bottom. We
don't care. They don't care about. You know why? Because
I agree with him though. We are on the bottom.
I listen to your horseshit story about Beverly Hills. Jesus Christ. Let me explain. When it comes to they look at us now, they're just nicer. It's just a more open society. But it doesn't mean they're thinking it. Now I see when they look at us, because I'm out a lot. And I tell you, if you listen to my podcast, I talk about all the people who kind of give me shit when I'm out. They're annoyed because they see Asians slowly coming up. Because a lot of times they've seen them as docile. So I think Crazy Rich Asians has kind of had a reverse effect where they go, oh, these loud motherfuckers. Right? White people in America think of Asians as docile.
Yes.
Quiet, nerdy, and it's just a fact. It's just, except for like, San Francisco, New York, Chicago, but you go to like Missouri, like fucking Albuquerque, and it's the same. Like they're seeing it as different, but not so much in a better way. And I'm not saying people are racist. We are inherently a little racist because we have our prejudice.
Who's we? You mean everyone?
Everyone. Yeah, everyone as a whole. But like, I don't see people coming like, oh, you're so crazy.
No, you're taking it literally. Like we're not saying literally like crazy rich.
It's like you're hitting such a small pocket like Beverly Hills. Like that movie. I mean, I live in Koreatown.
But this is Koreatown. They were talking about we're all around Koreans like everywhere.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, what do you guys?
I think like what Peter's saying.
Seem like
no, I think what Peter's saying.
Elevated us.
No, I'm not saying elevated.
No, Peter, he doesn't think it's
stereotype.
Yeah, what I think Peter was coming from is that he's saying
stereotypes still there.
In certain areas.
Stereotypes still there.
Yeah, in certain areas where
now
after the movie,
now it's just like Now it's like
it's shifted.
Yeah,
the stereotypes have shifted.
Where, I hear jokes where like, oh, Asians love to wear hip hop. Do you mean now there's?
Well, that's a whole other thing.
That was in the
90s. That goes with the whole privileged Asian model minority thing. If you want to talk about hip hop, look at Hypebeast. Look at I don't know if you know Hypebeast and all that. These are like the Hypebeast was all the trendy clothes. It's like the cool kids wear, right? It was all an urban thing, right? Like inner city stuff. That's what made urban fashion popular, right? But you know why that's what's killing the game? All these crazy rich Asian kids that are multi-millionaires buying up everything that's cool to the hip hop community, and like it's not even collectible anymore. What do you call it?
All this stuff.
Crazy rich Asian kids.
Yeah.
Really?
You're not keen to it. You don't know what's going on. That's why you're like, what are you talking about? You're like,
this
you're
guy's a hip hop guy. Like this.
Like, yo, look. All right, put it like this. Perfect example like this. All right, Jordans, right? Back in the days, Jordans
was everybody.
I know, but it came up in the inner city. It became big in the inner city. You're right. It became so big that Nike made limited edition. People would just collect and buy. Wait on lines for this, right? My friend became a reseller, right? He goes all around New York, right? Usually going to the inner city. Why? Because the inner city kids are not buying all the stuff like that, right? They make relationship with the people there. They buy up like 5 Jordan. Instead of waiting online, they go through the back in the van. They buy all these pairs. They hit them off with a little whatever. They have a warehouse they store it in. They resell it, right? And they would make money. My boy was making like $3,000-$4,000 a week just on reselling sneakers, right? He was making a living off of this. That game is dipping low right now. Why? Because these crazy rich Asian kids, they can't compete with the money that these kids are buying this stuff. You know what I mean? They even have connections in China where it's not even hitting America and they're just getting these sneakers. So it's just, it's taken away from that culture of like, oh, this was our thing. And now you see Hypebeast, you see all these rich parachute Chinese kids, billionaire families coming wearing all this cool stuff. And like now the kids in the inner city like, damn, man, like, what's our thing anymore?
I think the clear thing is that, Kevin, you need more Asian friends. Not just
the
us
entire
two.
time listening to him, I'm just thinking about. Is he talking about eBay? Are you talking about
No,
eBay?
I'm
No.
talking about
I'm fucking with you. I get it. But that's such a small market in regards to like what's
All right,
going
so
on.
Kevin, since you
as a
travel,
whole.
you travel the most out of
Yes.
us three. What do you hear and see in terms of like stereotypes and racism towards the Asian male?
Well, I don't get a ton because, granted, I'm on the road with Ken, so they're there to see two Asian guys
Yeah.
perform. But you can see it in a sense, like in the audience. Still, I've had a couple heckles like, "Oh, you guys small dicks," and this and that because they're just drunk.
Yeah.
It's definitely still there. The common.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's still there.
It's still there.
It's not
but,
saying that. It's,
like, I just feel like it's the PC landscape has made people
That's true.
more sensitive,
Yeah.
so they won't yell out as much. But you can feel it's still there. Like when you walk into a place and you feel
Oh, yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Like that's that. If we're talking about do I think it's better for Asians as a whole? Yes. But I don't know about this whole crazy Asian effect. Yes, and you're in the hype beast world, probably. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. But all the other stuff,
Yeah.
like you just live with it. You know what I mean? You
Well,
just live with it.
I think it's definitely getting better now because look what happened with what's it called? The SNL guy. What was the SNL guy?
Shane Gillis?
Shane Gillis
Yeah,
making
yeah.
fun of like Asians, and they just got that
I
Asian
gotta
guy
be
bout
honest, with you,
going.
I don't think
whatever, like-
he would have gotten fired had they had not hired that other Asian guy.
Oh yeah.
And by the way, the Shane Gillis thing, like,
What do you think? You're a comedian. What do you think?
I don't think he should have been fired because I have a thing about people getting, like, society getting other people fired. That's fucked up.
yeah.
Because
I
if
agree.
we had to do a thing where, like, every bad thing you did or you did,
I don't do
but
any
it
bad
was
things.
recent. It was recent. My thing is, I don't think the chink line, that wasn't as bad as people thought because he was like repeating it as a character in that time and whatever. What the other shit was worse when he said neuters and he was talking in a certain way about people in Chinatown.
Yeah,
That
he's like,
seemed-
it's awful. It's just chinks everywhere.
Yeah,
da, da, da,
no,
like,
the
is that
chink
what-
line wasn't.
But it's the context of the way he was saying.
Yeah,
like,
well,
that's
his other
awful.
stuff
It's
was
just-
way worse
Well, what
because
was
when
the
he
other-
talked
I didn't hear
about
that
like
stuff.
his girlfriend going in and she said neuters. I didn't even know that was a racist thing.
What's neuters? I don't know.
That's,
I
it's
don't
a
think I've
derogatory term towards noodles. It's like
Neuters?
saying neuters as a.
I
Asian.
never even heard this before.
Exactly. That's how next
It's-
level
yeah.
racist
it
that
sounds
was.
mad corny though. Like
Yeah.
But that's true racism is when they have code words.
like that only like in
But
the
Only
here's
they
the
know.
thing is, like, I know he's a comedian, but here's the thing is, I know the one chink line was supposed to be like a story, but it was all the inflection. People aren't talking about his inflection,
Yeah.
and it seemed racist. Like, and I don't think he should have been fired, but he's a guy from Pennsylvania, and
Did he grow up
middle,
with you?
yeah. I know that guy.
Yeah.
That's the guy. That's the shit I live with.
Is that the guy you see in the mirror every
Yeah,
day?
you just get along with. That's the
Yeah,
guy. That's the guy you have to deal with. He doesn't, as long as he doesn't fuck with you, he doesn't rob you or like try
Yeah.
to, hold you down. I don't care.
And I don't know the guy. I'm
But-
asking you because you know of a guy like that. When you throw it back to him with white racism,
Well, he's.
I take it they'll just be like, that's cool.
He's a comic, so I feel like he would be able to take it. But,
Yeah.
But he's also a comic that doesn't want to say that he was wrong,
Of course not.
and if it's his prerogative.
It is
Do you know what
because
I
he's
mean?
not getting paid enough.
That's what I mean. But now he got fired from SNL, and it probably won't change his dynamic
No.
at all because now he'll use this to sell tickets.
course.
And I'm not saying it's a political thing. Like people were saying, oh, like he's a Trump guy or this. I just think it was an isolated incident where he has this shtick towards Asians.
Yeah.
Like he knows that's acceptable. There we go. That's a form of racism in his country that's still allowed. Like you can still make fun of Asians, but you can't make fun of blacks as much. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
on
that's-
media.
I think there is definitely a hierarchy, like who you can make fun of.
Yes, and
who
we're
you-
on the low
yeah,
end.
Yeah,
It's
It's 'cause
it's black people.
I think
Transgenders.
any of the LGBT. I actually
LGBT.
think they might be higher than black people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
it's all about
You
who's
know?
No. This
They
is where
are.
it goes.
It's all about people. backing each other up because it's all about they don't want to deal with the drama. If you
organizations,
make fun of, like, the LGBTQ community, you know how many organizations going to be at your doorstep boycotting everything. The black community support. The thing about Asians, while we get made fun of so much as well,
no one says anything.
No one says anything.
But we also don't have.
What are we gonna do? We sit at Cafe Blue and sit around drinking and complaining, and as soon as we leave, we're back to like, oh shit, I'm sorry, and just
we don't have that one voice.
Do you know what they need? Do you know what
you need? Someone to speak up.
No, we need. Like, there can't be all good Asians in this country, right? We need some of those guys to take a hit. Like robbery, burglary. You need intimidating guys. Like,
you do.
And then, like, the guys on the football team or the hockey team who go in and fucking put the hit and then they're out.
Yeah.
We need a couple of those groups everywhere through America.
We need an Asian Tyson.
That's for balance, right? But then we also need that one, like, political, social figure that people respect. Yeah. We don't have that. We don't have that person.
Political figure. We just need more people representing and not just being like, oh, I'm Asian, look at me. Yeah, it's just like regular people just being cool, doing that regular thing.
Yeah, that's on the grassroots level. But we also need that one go-to person, you know.
Andrew Yang?
It could be Andrew. It could be Jeremy Lin.
It could be Jeremy Lin. It could be Andrew. It could be anybody just doing what they do without having to be like, I'm Asian. It's just, you just blend in and like you said, grassroots. But like, we don't have that. But you see the kids growing up now, like that Asian kids growing up now. Oh, they're like the coolest kids.
Yeah, they have white girlfriends.
It's really like 21 Jump Street, like the remake. It's really like that. The whole tables of the way we grew up has changed.
Totally
like,
different.
Asian kids are cool kids now. Look at the way they even pitch it in the media. Look at Netflix shows, right?
Yeah.
They're very forward thinking, right? Like LGBTQ community, diversity. If you look at like the show 13 Reasons Why about the high school kids, suicide and all that, the coolest kids are Asian. The class president, Asian.
Yeah.
The jock, half Asian, half white, but he's Asian. On the show, he's just Asian. Like you're like, what?
You're not giving anything else to bitch about now.
I know.
I'm saying, apparently everything's okay.
No.
But their leader, though.
No, but the thing is, you can't forget about what happened in the past.
Well, it was harder for us.
Yeah,
I mean, there was just not a lot. No, we're all in entertainment, so we're all kind of complaining. But like, we're in entertainment, so like now we see more Asians in the media. But now I'm annoyed. Because those are Asians not like me.
Yeah.
We grew up in a time where we were going to be a little rougher.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? A little more harder, a little more callous.
Like right now, I think it's because like right now, like we're just getting in the door. So we got to play like the safe, you're normal and you can't be too.
Do you think that it's gotten better or do you think it's in one way gotten worse?
It's definitely gotten better.
Okay.
But I don't think it's still good. Because the bar was so low, I feel like. Well, okay. It's a different kind of stereotype. I'm not trying to complain like I could never try to compare myself and be like, oh, look, black folks and Asian folks. Nah, the history in America is not like that. You know what I mean? It's just that because people don't pay attention to what we like. I think everyone's always gonna be respectful of black history in America. You know what I'm saying? Civil slavery, civil rights, like that kind of stuff. That injustices that happen even now. Black Lives Matter. Like we can't compare to anything like. I don't think Asian people get pulled over and get worried about getting shot because of our skin color. But it's just a different kind of weird thing that we went through. Like people always just say Asian people don't have anything to complain about because our history in America. We're just the silent minority that sit here and make money and whatever. But they don't remember about the railroads, Chinese Exclusion Acts, Japanese internment camps. They don't think about the LA riots and our Stearns getting burned down, us having no voice and no rights to speak about.
So you think it's gotten better or worse?
So I think it's gotten better. I'm sorry, but it's not. It's still not good.
All right, Kevin, what do you think?
It's still not good.
When I'm by myself.
Yeah.
It's gotten better.
Okay.
Like, I don't get harassed. But when I'm with my white girlfriend, it's still the same.
It's the same, of course.
It's still the same.
You should feel good, though, because the tables are reversed.
What do you mean?
Usually it's a white guy with an Asian girlfriend, but you're the Asian guy with a white girlfriend.
Yeah, but I had a white parent, so I dated.
Kevin's their leader. Kevin's the leader.
I'm around white people.
That's why there's 2 Asian male characters on TV with white girlfriends right now. One on Prodigal Son. He's played by, I think, Raymond Lee. He's dating Sage Hallstrom. White girl, and then on SWAT, David Lim is dating a white girl.
I just realized you guys watch a lot of bad fucking television.
I work in television. Anyhow, that's going to conclude this topic. Let's move on.
Ding. And by the way, we just want to thank Cafe Blue for having us and allow us to record here. If you guys don't know Cafe Blue, where the hell have you been?